Let's bring in the Daily Signal's Kelsey Harkness and former D.C. Chamber of Commerce Chairman Scott Bolden. Good to see you both, you guys.
Good seeing you.
Good
Kelsey,
to see you.
What do you think of this story?
This should be frightening to all Americans, regardless of your political perspective, because what the mayor of New York City basically just said is that he didn't allow a company into New York City, in part because of the owners of that company's political views. Furthermore, I think there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here because, of course, Amazon and Walmart have very different business models, but ultimately what they're doing is attempting to provide items en masse to Americans at cheaper prices. And for them to roll out the red carpet for Amazon, giving them billions of dollars in tax incentives, and then block Walmart, I think that is so hypocritical.
You know, Scott, Mayor de Blasio, he said that Walmart undermines local retailers, but then Amazon's been criticized as that too, right? Even though Amazon does have a lot of small businesses on its own website, other retailers can't really compete with it. You know what I mean, Scott?
Yeah, but let me tell you, the biggest difference I see is that Amazon is an internet sensation retailer as opposed to a big box retailer like Walmart. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying each company, when they come to your jurisdiction, I live in D.C. and we've got Walmart, and now Amazon is coming in Crystal City. They have to negotiate with politicians because they need land, they need space, they impact the economy, and a lot of them need tax incentives. And that gives politicians license to either extract more or to comment or to pick and choose. I didn't say it was right, but I got to tell you, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And these are complicated negotiations that start a long time before you either see a Walmart or you see the headquarters or second headquarters for Amazon.
Yeah, I hear you, Scott. And Kelsey, Scott makes an important point here. The other issue, too, and the other side of that, and I want to hear what Scott says about this. What if the, Albany or the state capitals just flatten the tax structure instead of handing out goodies in the form of tax breaks? A lot of Democrats work at Walmart. What if New Yorkers do want a Walmart, too? There's all sorts of angles here, right, Kelsey?
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest irony of this whole Amazon HQ2 story is that in many ways it makes the case for deregulating the economy and lowering taxes. New York wouldn't have had to incentivize Amazon to go there had they had an economy like you see in Texas that's already working. Instead, they had to basically beg Amazon via a lot of cronyism, I would argue, to get them to enter their city. And taxpayers are the ones who are paying for that.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, but flattening the tax rate in any jurisdiction simply wouldn't be enough, and it would take a long time for it to even out. The reality is this. You're going to have these negotiations, and you're going to have these competitions, and the municipalities or the states have the power to give these tax incentives and tax breaks like they would any other company, if you will.
I hear you.
And in giving those tax breaks, what they get in return, at least in Crystal City, is a $5 billion investment that improves infrastructure, the airport, and what have you. It's hard to turn that down, and it's hard to say there shouldn't be competition.
And I know, Scott, you have been in the forefront of this. You at the Chamber of Commerce in D.C., you've seen this firsthand. You've been in the front trenches of this. Quickly, Kelsey, I just want to ask Scott a follow-up. The argument about this, too, Scott, is what about the guys and gals in upstate New York who basically are paying for Amazon to come here twice what people in Virginia are paying? And they're kind of, saying, hey, what about us in upstate New York?
Well, it's a cost of living difference and a lot of environmental economics, what I call. And so those numbers are going to be different. If I was a partner at a law firm like mine in New York, I'd probably be making more money than here because it's a different market.
Kelsey, Scott, you've been great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.